Code of Professional Responsibility promulgated June 21, 1988. Chapter 1. The Lawyer and Society Canon 1. A lawyer shall uphold the Constitution, obey the laws of the land and promote respect for law and legal processes. Rule 1.01. A lawyer shall not engage in unlawful, dishonest, immoral or deceitful conduct. Rule 1.02. A lawyer shall not counsel or abet activities aimed at defiance of the law or at lessening confidence in the legal system. Rule 1.03. A lawyer shall not, for any corrupt motive or interest, encourage any suit or proceeding or delay any man's cause. Rule 1.04. A lawyer shall encourage his clients to avoid and or settle a controversy if it will admit of a fair settlement. Canon 2. A lawyer shall make his legal services available in an efficient and convenient manner compatible with the independence, integrity, and effectiveness of the profession. Rule 2.01. A lawyer shall not reject, except for valid reasons, the cause of the defenseless or the oppressed. Rule 2.02. In such cases, even if the lawyer does not accept a case, he shall not refuse to render legal advice to the person concerned if only to the extent necessary to safeguard the latter's rights. Rule 2.03. A lawyer shall not do or permit to be done any act designed primarily to solicit legal business. Rule 2.04. A lawyer shall not charge rates lower than those customarily prescribed unless the circumstances so warrant. Canon 3. A lawyer in making known his legal services shall use only true, honest, fair, dignified and objective information or statement of facts. Rule 3.01. A lawyer shall not use or permit the use of any false, fraudulent, misleading, deceptive, undignified, self-laudatory or unfair statement or claim regarding his qualifications or legal services. Rule 3.02. In the choice of a firm name, no false, misleading or assumed name shall be used. The continued use of the name of a deceased partner is permissible provided that the firm indicates in all its communications that said partner is deceased. Rule 3.03. Where a partner accepts public office, he shall withdraw from the firm and his name shall be dropped from the firm name unless the law allows him to practice law currently. Rule 3.04. A lawyer shall not pay or give anything of value to representatives of the mass media in anticipation of, or in return for, publicity to attract legal business. Canon 4. A lawyer shall participate in the development of the legal system by initiating or supporting efforts in law reform and in the improvement of the administration of justice. Canon 5. A lawyer shall keep abreast of legal developments, participate in continuing legal education programs, support efforts to achieve high standards in law schools as well as in the practical training of law students and assist in disseminating the law and jurisprudence. Canon 6. These canons shall apply to lawyers in government services in the discharge of their tasks. Rule 6.01. The primary duty of a lawyer engaged in public prosecution is not to convict but to see that justice is done. The suppression of facts or the concealment of witnesses capable of establishing the innocence of the accused is highly reprehensible and is cause for disciplinary action. Rule 6.02. A lawyer in the government service shall not use his public position to promote or advance his private interests, nor allow the latter to interfere with his public duties. Rule 6.03. A lawyer shall not, after leaving government service, accept engagement or employment in connection with any matter in which he had intervened while in said service. Chapter 2. The Lawyer and the Legal Profession. Canon 7. A lawyer shall at all times uphold the integrity and dignity of the legal profession and support the activities of the integrated bar. Rule 7.01. A lawyer shall be answerable for knowingly making a false statement or suppressing a material fact in connection with his application for admission to the bar. Rule 7.02. A lawyer shall not support the application for admission to the bar of any person known by him to be unqualified in respect to character, education, or other relevant attribute. Rule 7.03. A lawyer shall not engage in conduct that adversely reflects on his fitness to practice law, nor shall he, whether in public or private life, behave in a scandalous manner to the discredit of the legal profession. Canon 8. A lawyer shall conduct himself with courtesy, fairness, and candor towards his professional colleagues, and shall avoid harassing tactics against opposing counsel. Rule 8.01. A lawyer shall not, in his professional dealings, use language which is abusive, offensive, or otherwise improper. Rule 8.02. A lawyer shall not, directly or indirectly, encroach upon the professional employment of another lawyer. However, it is the right of any lawyer, without fear or favor, to give proper advice and assistance to those seeking relief against unfaithful or neglectful counsel. Canon 9. A lawyer shall not, directly or indirectly, assist in the unauthorized practice of law. Rule 9.01. A lawyer shall not delegate to any unqualified person the performance of any task which by law may only be performed by a member of the bar in good standing. Rule 9.02. A lawyer shall not divide or stipulate to divide a fee for legal services with persons not licensed to practice law, except where there is a pre-existing agreement with a partner or associate that, upon the latter's death, money shall be paid over a reasonable period of time to his estate or to persons specified in the agreement, or b. where a lawyer undertakes to complete unfinished legal business of a deceased lawyer, or c. where a lawyer or law firm includes non-lawyer employees in a retirement plan, even if the plan is based in whole or in part on a profit-sharing agreement. Chapter 3. The Lawyer and the Courts. Canon 10. A lawyer owes candor, fairness, and good faith to the court. Rule 10.01. A lawyer shall not do any falsehood, nor consent to the doing of any in court, nor shall he mislead, or allow the court to be misled by any artifice. Rule 10.02. A lawyer shall not knowingly misquote or misrepresent the contents of a paper, the language or the argument of opposing counsel, or the text of a decision or authority, or knowingly cite as law a provision already rendered inoperative by repeal or amendment, or assert as a fact that which has not been proved. Rule 10.03. A lawyer shall observe the rules of procedure and shall not misuse them to defeat the ends of justice. Canon 11. A lawyer shall observe and maintain the respect due to the courts and to judicial officers and should insist on similar conduct by others. Rule 11.01. A lawyer shall appear in court properly attired. Rule 11.02. A lawyer shall punctually appear at court hearings. Rule 11.03. A lawyer shall abstain from scandalous, offensive, or menacing language or behavior before the courts. Rule 11.04. A lawyer shall not attribute to a judge motives not supported by the record or have no materiality to the case. Rule 11.05. A lawyer shall submit grievances against a judge to the proper authorities only. Canon 12. A lawyer shall exert every effort and consider it his duty to assist in the speedy and efficient administration of justice. Rule 12.01. A lawyer shall not appear for trial unless he has adequately prepared himself on the law and the facts of his case, the evidence he will adduce, and the order of its preference. He should also be ready with the original documents for comparison with the copies. Rule 12.02. A lawyer shall not file multiple actions arising from the same cause. Rule 12.03. A lawyer shall not, after obtaining extensions of time to file pleadings, memoranda or briefs, let the period lapse without submitting the same or offering an explanation for his failure to do so. Rule 12.04. A lawyer shall not unduly delay a case, impede the execution of a judgment, or misuse court processes. Rule 12.05. A lawyer shall refrain from talking to his witness during a break or recess in the trial, while the witness is still under examination. Rule 12.06. A lawyer shall not knowingly assist a witness to misrepresent himself or to impersonate another. Rule 12.07. A lawyer shall not abuse, browbeat, or harass a witness nor needlessly inconvenience him. Rule 12.08. A lawyer shall avoid testifying in behalf of his client, except on formal matters, such as the mailing, authentication, or custody of an instrument, and the like, or b. on substantial matters. In cases where his testimony is essential to the ends of justice, in which event he must, during his testimony, entrust the trial of the case to another counsel. Canon 13. A lawyer shall rely upon the merits of his cause and refrain from any impropriety which tends to influence, or gives the appearance of influencing the court. Rule 13.01. A lawyer shall not extend extraordinary attention or hospitality to, nor seek opportunity for cultivating familiarity with judges. Rule 13.02. A lawyer shall not make public statements in the media regarding a pending case tending to arouse public opinion for or against a party. Rule 13.03. A lawyer shall not brook or invite interference by another branch or agency of the government in the normal course of judicial proceedings. Chapter 4. The lawyer and the client. Canon 14. A lawyer shall not refuse his services to the needy. Rule 14.01. A lawyer shall not decline to represent a person solely on account of the latter's race, sex, creed, or status of life, or because of his own opinion regarding the guilt of said person. Rule 14.02. A lawyer shall not decline, except for serious and sufficient cause, an appointment as counsel de officio or as amicus curiae, or a request from the Integrated Bar of the Philippines or any of its chapters for rendition of free legal aid. Rule 14.03. A lawyer may not refuse to accept representation of an indigent client unless he is not in a position to carry out the work effectively or competently. b. He labors under a conflict of interest between him and the prospective client or between a present client and the prospective client. Rule 14.04. A lawyer who accepts the cause of a person unable to pay his professional fees shall observe the same standard of conduct governing his relations with paying clients. Canon 15. A lawyer shall observe candor, fairness, and loyalty in all his dealings and transactions with his clients. Rule 15.01. A lawyer, in conferring with a prospective client, shall ascertain as soon as practicable whether the matter would involve a conflict with another client or his own interest, and if so, shall forthwith inform the prospective client. Rule 15.02. A lawyer shall be bound by the rule on privileged communication in respect of matters disclosed to him by a prospective client. Rule 15.03. A lawyer shall not represent conflicting interests except by written consent of all concerned given after a full disclosure of the facts. Rule 15.04. A lawyer may, with the written consent of all concerned, act as mediator, conciliator, or arbitrator in settling disputes. Rule 15.05. A lawyer, when advising his client, shall give a candid and honest opinion on the merits and probable results of the client's case, neither overstating nor understating the prospects of the case. Rule 15.06. A lawyer shall not state or imply that he is able to influence any public official, tribunal, or legislative body. Rule 15.07. A lawyer shall impress upon his client compliance with the laws and the principles of fairness. Rule 15.08. A lawyer who is engaged in another profession or occupation concurrently with the practice of law shall make clear to his client whether he is acting as a lawyer or in another capacity.